Arsenal. Just wanted to get your take on this. I put a tweet out earlier on today saying, what do you guys want us to speak about today? And the gal sent me a topic through. And it's who starts for Real Madrid on the right-hand side, Saka or Rodrygo?
Lolas, you take care of this, bro. They hate me way too much. I'm not adding more, bro. Leave me out of this one, bro. You know what? I'll tag you in. You're the one that does the combined 11s with Madrid. Maybe you should take on straight facts.
I was about to say that. This is the guy that had like 3 Real Madrid players and an Arsenal Real Madrid combined 11 like a few years. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me, man. Like Real Madrid right now for me are the best team in the world. The best team in the world. So it's no disrespect to Saka to say he doesn't start. Would he, be good enough to play for Real Madrid? I think so. I think he's good enough for them to be interested in signing Real Madrid and be a key part of the squad. But at this time, I think Rodrygo edges it. I think he edges it. And, it's one of them things we will, unless we get to see them, I guess, both in the same league, in the same scenario, it's hard for us to really judge. But yeah, man, I think Saka, still has some levels to go. He's brilliant. But yeah, man, Rodrygo edges it. And I can understand why Arsenal fans will push for their guy Saka. I can understand it, but just not for me. You look like you're going to go in, Staffy. You look like you're about to.
I actually might surprise a few people. You don't know that.
Okay.
Look, Lotus's face is switched. All right,
don't just switch your opinion, though, just to surprise.
All right, I'm going to give you my honest opinion. No, Ben.
Yeah.
If this is a debate, Rodrygo versus Saka in general, I like Rodrygo more. I actually told Terry, remember I was telling you like last week, I was like, I hope he falls out with Madrid. And then we end up signing him next summer. So I rate him. I rate him more than Saka. However, I don't think Rodrygo's a right winger. I think Rodrygo's best play is when he starts on the left. I've had Madrid fans generally tell me that whenever Vinny's out or injured or whatever, Rodrygo cooks on the left. He just plays on the right because they can't remove Vinny from that position. And I've seen it and I agree with them. I think if I'm picking a right winger today, I think I'm picking Saka. I'm going to be honest with you. But that does not mean that I kind of rate Rodrygo more as a winger in general. I just wouldn't put him on the right. I think Rodrygo's best play comes from the left. I don't think he's necessarily that good on the right.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one, if you told me pick one to join your team, I'll pick Rodrygo. But if you told me pick one to start on the right wing,
on the right hand side, I think the parameters of the debate matter. Look, Rodrygo's amazing. What the thing that Rodrygo has over Saka in abundance is the man has not just won trophies, but he's been integral in his team winning trophies, and that component tells you he can deliver. But I saw that graphic last week of Bellingham, Rodrygo, Vinny, and Mbappe all on the left-hand side. And I just thought to myself, and Arsenal fans are fighting for this, saying that he starts on the he would start on the right because he's better on the right than Rodrygo is on the right. You want to be careful because Real Madrid they might end up needing a right-sided attacker, because if this season goes on where all those players keep naturally drifting to the left because it's where their preference is, it's where they feel most comfortable, they're going to be quite imbalanced. They'll still win trophies because they're Real Madrid. But that you might find the hierarchy at Real Madrid go, do you know what? We love Rodrygo, but we're going to probably have to let him go because
Bellingham might put in a word there. You don't know.
Maybe. Because that's the one thing I would say. This is one game. I think they're going to figure it out. They've got Ancelotti as their manager. They're the best run club in the world. They're the biggest team, the biggest team in the world, the best team in the world right now. They'll figure it out. But if they don't, and they keep being very heavily on that right-hand side, I mean, Arsenal fans' bluffs could get called here, because if Real Madrid come on knocking, as good
100%.
as Arsenal, if Real Madrid come knocking for Saka, that's a hard. Like I remember when Liverpool were linked to him and other clubs, and I remember Egal saying, like, Liverpool don't have the facilities, Madrid do. Madrid are the facility, bruv. So yeah,
Madrid
it would be an
one team that always bullies us to take our players. Because I had a debate like this on my channel a while ago. I said, as United, there's no team that ever bullied us of our players except for one team. And it's not every example, but they're the one team you can look at and you're like, yeah, I understand if a United player says, I want to go to Madrid.
It depends on the player. I think it depends on the nationality. I think plays a part, because we had massive teams in the 90s try and take Giggs and Scholes and Beckham, and we just said no to all of them. We let Beckham go in the end because Fergie and Beckham kind of messed up. Ronaldo, for me, was the first one where it didn't matter what we did. He was destined to wear the all-white of Real Madrid. But I think the rest
But that's because of where he's from. He's from Portugal. He always wanted to play.
No, and I agree. And that's what's hard to do. That's what's hard to do. But right, who else did we sell there? Like we obviously Van Nistelrooy was our choice as an example.
Van Nistelrooy we kicked out. Beckham we kicked out. Gabriel Hines we kicked out. All these players, they generally got kicked out of the team.
When Man United, and this is why I'm so desperate for us to get back to the peak of our powers, because when Man United were at our pomp, genuinely, barring that, I was never worried about a player leaving. I was never worried about someone looking good and somebody coming in because we're Man United, and it was genuinely only Real Madrid that could potentially take a player away. But there we go. But yeah, listen, I think Rodrygo overall is a better player, but I do agree with what you said there, Staffy. If you need a right winger today for your team, I'd probably go with Saka to be on the right-hand side. You may get more consistency there. But everyone's going to have a different...
Like, if Real Madrid were to come in for Saka, what's the fee? What's the price? Because I'm seeing Arsenal fans saying 250 mil, which I think is mad.
I think Real Madrid... Again, people are going to think I'm sitting on the fence. It depends if Saka's pushing to leave or not. If he's like, I want to go 150 to 180... If Saka is like, I'm very happy to stay, you might be looking at £200 million. Genuinely, you might be looking at £200 million.
That's like Ballon d'Or money. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I was about to say. We're talking about Neymar PSG money here.
Yeah, like, is he? I get what you're saying. Like, if he's not pushing to leave, then they don't have to sell. Whatever.
Let's have a look at his. What's his valuation actually? In fairness, I'm probably overstating it. To be fair, his current valuation is it's 140 million euros. It's about 120 million pounds. So actually, yeah, maybe 150 even if he isn't pushing. So he's worth 118 million pounds according to on the market value. So yeah, 200 million is a bit of a push. You're probably looking more 150 to be fair. If Arsenal don't want to sell him and he's not pushing, they're going to have to go above that. 150. Yeah, I overstated that. That's my fault. That's me. I thought his valuation was higher.
If they don't win the league this season, he may want to go again for another season. But eventually, surely he's going to think if Real Madrid do want him.
Yes.
Madrid are definitely, they're going to go for a right winger in the next few years for sure. Especially with the super team that they're building, So I wouldn't be surprised if they go for it. There's a lot of names out there that they could go for. And that's why when people saying 200 mil, let's be honest, Madrid, they're never spending 200 mil on a player because Madrid is that one club that they feel their name is enough pull for you don't want to come to us. So I don't actually have to go above and beyond to sign you. You know what I'm saying? They feel like I'm above you. So I'll pay decent food, but you should want to come here. I'm not gonna go.
You push for that move. I mean, Saka's deal runs out and that's the thing. His deal runs out in 2027. How old is he now? He is 22. So let's just say next year he goes into his last 2 years. So Real Madrid might just sit there, and this is where it becomes difficult. This is where it becomes a conversation, and your opinion should change throughout this. His valuation is lower than I thought it was. So already I've changed my opinion. But once you go into the last 2 years of your contract, Arsenal will then face with, if the player's head is turned, maybe you accept 100 million, because if you don't, he goes into the last year, so it's lower. Maybe he's young enough to run it down and leave at 24 years old for nothing, and then Madrid still would have to pay him a big signing on fee, but then Arsenal get nothing. So I didn't realize he's going into the last 2 years of his contract this season. Now, if he signs a new deal this year and extends till 2029, he's got 4 or 5 years left, then again, you're probably going to get full market value. But yeah, you are right. Madrid have got that ability to say, "Oh, fuck you, you're coming. Just tell your club you're leaving, bruv." They could do it. I want to talk Chelsea for a moment as well, gents. So